McCutcheon, and I'm here to give you Uncle John's famous 5-minute frailing lesson. So get out your banjos, tune it up in the key of G, and I'm going to divide this up into 4 particular parts. These are all going to be shown very slowly and up close. Now, one of the things you need to remember is take them sequentially, one at a time, and do not go to step number 2, for instance, until you have mastered step number 1. And I mean, you can sit and do step number 1 while watching a baseball game on television, or being utterly distracted by something that makes you not think about playing at all. If you go through all 4 steps in sequence, and it shouldn't take you more than a day or 2, I guarantee you will be able to be playing old-time banjo in its most basic form. So, here is step 1 of the 4. The first thing you need to do is make sure you are holding your hand properly. In this kind of banjo playing, alternately called frailing, claw hammer, whapping, old time, it's a very non-European way of playing the banjo. Claw hammer might be the most illustrative because you're going to hold your hand very steady. And your index, you're going to be playing with the back of your index fingernail and your thumb, and all the motion is going to be going this way. So keep your hand steady, and your thumb is not flexible. If it helps you at all, brace this finger against the others and keep your hand stiff, and all the motion is going to be in your forearm. In the first step, you strum down with the back of your index finger and simply have your thumb stop here. Your thumb doesn't do anything but stop on the 5th string. So here it goes. That's all there is to step number 1. Let's play it together 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. That is step number 1. So that was step 1 of the 4. Now, step 2 is based on step 1. Let's review what you did in step 1, and then I'll show you what step 2 entails. Step number 1. You will remember step number 1 is strumming down with your thumb stopping on the 5th finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step number 2 is you strum down and you pick your hand up away from the banjo, and that thumb, which is caught here on the 5th string, just lets go of that 5th string. The thumb does not make a motion like this. It catches on this, and as you pull it up, it plucks the string. It is not. Because you remember, step number 1 went 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. It's an even 1 and 2. And let's play it 8 times together. Ready? 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. Step number 2. Great, you're halfway there. Step number 3, like step number 2, builds on the step before it. So we'll review step number 1, step number 2, and then I will introduce the new piece in step number 3. Step number 3 builds on step number 2 as step number 2 built on step number 1. Step number 1 again is strum, 3, 4. Step 2 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Step number 3 adds another beat. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 4 and 2 and. So what you're adding is you're plucking this first string right here, just this one, and then starting with a strum pluck, which is all of step number 2. So it's 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. And see how that hand is maintaining its shape. The thumb is not reaching back to pluck the 5th string. Let's play it 8 times together. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. Step number 3. Okay, so now, for all intents and purposes, you are frailing the banjo. Now, how do you play tunes doing that? Step number 4 gets you off of the basic monotony of the frailing action itself. Here's how it happens. Step number 4 gets you used to playing all 4 of the lower strings and still adding the strum pluck. So step number 1, you will recall, was just the strum. Step number 2 was the strum pluck. Step number 3, which is technically frailing, is pick, strum, thumb, pick, strum, thumb, pick, strum. In step number 4, all you're doing is, instead of just plucking this one string, you're picking the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. Together. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Great. From this point on, all you need to do is you stick the in wherever there is a blank spot. For instance, in Old Joe Clark. Just toggle back and forth between your index finger and the 5th string. From that point, you've got the technique. All you need to do is listen to a lot of old-time music. Get together with people who are playing. Just sit in the background, stuff a shirt inside your banjo so you're not making too much noise, and have fun. Good luck.